This information is not intended for your access, as it undermines the authority of those in power over the general population. Imagine if I were to share with you a creation story, one that explains the origin of mankind, which actually predates the Abrahamic religions not just by a few thousand years, but by tens of thousands of years. Furthermore, consider how the Bible, both the New Testament and the Old Testament, along with the Quran, each present this creation story in their own distinct manner. The creation story I am about to share with you challenges the current understanding. That is why it is often kept from you. It is important to understand that Adam, as we commonly refer to him, was not the first human being. To grasp this concept, we must delve into the rich history of human civilization and explore its origin. In the book, The 12th Planet, by Zecharia Sitchin, a narrative is presented that is, quite frankly, transformative in its implication. According to Sitchin, there exists a 12th planet, known as Nibiru, which orbits a brown dwarf star. It is now recognized by the scientific community that there exists a brown dwarf in orbit around our Sun. According to Sitchin, this star is accompanied by the 12th planet, known as Nibiru. Let's consider how this relates to our situation. To understand this, we must thoroughly explore one of the oldest, if not the oldest, creation stories documented on Earth. The Sumerian tablets. Initially, one might not assign significant importance to the Sumerian tablets. However, there are now scientific facts that have gained acceptance within the scientific community, which lend considerable credibility to the creation narrative presented in these ancient texts. The term Anunnaki is one you may have encountered. It refers to a concept found in the Sumerian tablets that describes extraterrestrial beings. In straightforward terms, it refers to individuals from the heavens, or those who originated from above, or the deities from the celestial realm. The translations may vary in their structure and wording. However, they maintain the same meaning and implications. The Anunnaki are entities that arrived on Earth from the skies, and historically the term heavens referred simply to the expanse of space. In the book, The 12th Planet, Sitchin provides extensive insights into these beings. While I will delve deeper into this topic in a separate video, it is important to focus here on the ancient creation story found in the Sumerian tablets, where the Anunnaki are depicted as God. I have utilized the term gods with a lowercase god to indicate that these beings are often misidentified by many as the deities of planet Earth, though they are not. These beings arrived on Earth with a specific intention. Many people have different theories about that purpose, but the Sumerian tablets clearly indicate that their presence was related to mining certain materials. This was a labor-intensive task that required a significant amount of time to complete. The majority of the impact was experienced by the working class among these Anunnaki beings known as the Ajiji. Yes, it is a work class. It is quite interesting to observe how this concept continues to manifest on our planet even in the present day. In any case, the Ajiji had been diligently working for an extended period and ultimately reached their limit. The individuals rose up against the ruling class, which they referred to as the pantheon of the so-called Anunnaki gods, and sought assistance in various forms. This marks the beginning of the creation story of mankind as we understand it. The leader of the Anunnaki pantheon is King Anu, who serves as the supreme authority among these beings. He has two sons, Enki and Enlil, who were present on planet Earth during Anu's reign from the heavens. His sons and their associates made a decision to engage with the current humanoids of planet Earth, implementing genetic modifications to develop the Homo sapiens. Indeed, there are humanoids that already exist. They did not bring us into existence, therefore they cannot be considered our creators. They presented themselves as deities, yet they are composed of flesh and blood. However, their sense of righteousness continues to be maintained even in the present time. This story may not have captured my interest initially, but scientific evidence now indicates that our DNA has undergone unnatural mutations or evolution, highlighting a significant evolutionary gap between Homo erectus and Homo sapiens. Here is an excerpt from the book, The 12th Planet, by Zecharia Sitchin. that will help you grasp this unusual evolutionary leap. The true challenge lies not in the perceived backwardness of but rather in our own advancement. It is important to understand that, in the natural progression of evolution, humanity should still be represented by the Bushman rather than by our current state. It required humanity approximately 2 million years to progress in toolmaking, evolving from simply using stones as they were found to understanding how to chip and shape them to better meet their needs. Why not take an additional 2 million years to explore the use of various materials, followed by another 10 million years to fully grasp mathematics, engineering, and astronomy? Here we find ourselves, just under 50,000 years since the time of Neanderthal man, successfully landing astronauts on the moon. The pertinent question to consider is, did we, along with our Mediterranean ancestors, truly develop this advanced civilization independent? In straightforward terms, evolution struggles to explain the seemingly sudden emergence of Homo sapiens, often referred to as modern humans. The process of evolution from Homo erectus to Homo sapiens would have required millions of years, following a gradual and painstakingly slow trajectory. It is important to research this topic, as it is backed by contemporary scientific finding. However, it remains an intriguing puzzle for scientists today regarding the sudden appearance of Homo sapiens approximately 200,000 years ago, almost as if they emerged unexpected, akin to a laboratory creation. This is the point at which we begin to explore some intriguing concepts. The Sumerian tablets provide accounts of a creation story that is said to have occurred approximately 200,000 years ago. Additionally, these records mention the arrival of the Anunnaki beings on Earth around 450,000 years ago. Is it merely a coincidence? I believe that may not be the case. This narrative serves as the sole explanation for the gap in our current understanding of the evolution theory, which some may consider flawed. It is suggested that rather than evolving naturally, there was a significant alteration to our genetic makeup that took place in the Garden of Eden. This represents the laboratory or controlled zone from ancient times. Indeed, the Garden of Eden and the Bible have their origins in the Sumerian tablets, which predate them by thousands of years. The Garden of Eden served as a location where genetic modifications were applied to existing humanoids, with the intention of creating an intelligent race that would undertake mining tasks on behalf of others. Therefore, Adamu was formed by combining the essence of the Anunnaki with the already existing humanoids, resulting in the creation of Homo sapiens. This essence may simply be their genetic material, which clarifies the presence of what is often referred to as junk DNA. This so-called junk is actually deactivated DNA, and it is important to note that our chromosome 2 has undergone splicing and fusion. This does not represent a natural phenomenon. Therefore, the presence of these DNA anomalies in humans lends significant support to the creation narrative found in the Sumerian tablet. It is interesting to note that the Garden of Eden is said to have produced the first thinking man, Adamu, which bears a striking resemblance to the name Adam found in contemporary scripture. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned that this information is not something you are expected to be aware of. Could you please explain the reason behind that? This prompts you to critically examine the established systems and religions in our world, thereby challenging the control that the majority of humanity holds. This indicates that we are not isolated in our experience. The global governing body is well aware of this fact. It's important to critically evaluate what is being said. They are aware of this. It is important to recognize that many scientists are aware of certain truths, yet they may choose to present information differently to the public. By stripping humanity of their genuine beginnings, you can shape them into anything you desire. There is a significant amount of information regarding these beings that could profoundly alter your understanding of reality, potentially leading you to question your religious belief. This might evoke strong reactions, and I encourage you to approach the topic with an open mind. As we explore this topic, it's important to consider the mainstream scriptures alongside the Sumerian tablets, which are significantly old. By doing so, you may notice that the mainstream scriptures do not fully address certain aspects, revealing some limitations in their narrative. My goal is not to cause any distress. Rather, I aim to share information that may not be readily accessible for various reasons. This way you can form your own conclusions based on what you discover. With the exception of the Abrahamic religions, it is observed that many indigenous and ancient cultures hold a belief in their connection to the stars. Many individuals share narratives about celestial beings, but it seems that mainstream media and scientists often dismiss these accounts. This dismissal may influence how we perceive such stories, potentially overshadowing the understanding that our own divine essence can be a source of salvation and guidance. Approach the information presented in this video with a critical mindset, but I encourage you to conduct your own research. I believe that through your investigation you will arrive at a similar conclusion. The reason I am not providing extensive details is that I need to address several general topics regarding these beings to prepare you for an important development that those in authority are about to undertake, which could potentially jeopardize the future of humanity. It is important to note that you may start observing an increase in UFO-related content within mainstream media. This shift could be indicative of an emerging narrative that aims to influence public perception and understanding. When mainstream media adopts a particular narrative, it is important to recognize that they are often preparing the public for something significant, which frequently involves instilling fear. The objective is to limit consciousness, as an independent thinking individual poses a challenge that the system cannot tolerate. Elevating your awareness is essential for liberating yourself from the system, as it enables you to recognize their strategies and decide not to participate.